In the many years that I've been at UCLA, most recently as Anthropology Department Chair, I've been honored to work with many remarkable colleagues, phenomenal students, and distinguished alumni. One of the most satisfying aspects of my job as Department Chair has been connecting with alumni who have used their knowledge and passions to change the world in important and sometimes unexpected ways. Today's keynote speaker is an excellent example. David Sackman is the chairman and CEO of Lieberman Research Worldwide, one of the largest custom market research firms in the world, and the visionary behind Applied VR, the virtual reality company that has attracted the participation of the world's leading academic authorities on the subject. Recently distinguished as a 2015 Tech Visionary by Survey magazine, Dave Sackman's ultimate goal is to use virtual reality to help create positive behavior change to make the world a better place, a topic on which he presented a TEDx talk in London. Prior to joining Lieberman Research Worldwide over 25 years ago, Dave Sackman was Director of Research at Columbia Pictures, headed marketing for Winchell's division of Denny Restaurants, and led marketing for the Group Health Services division of American Medical International, a $3 billion healthcare company at the time. He also has led the growth of Lieberman Research Worldwide from a $5 million local company to a company that this year should top $200 million in sales. Notably, this career and these extraordinary successes rest on a BA in anthropology, which Dave Sackman received in 1980 from the University of California, Los Angeles. Please give me a warm and proud welcome to one of our own anthropology family members, Dave Sackman, and our 2017 Department of Anthropology Commencement speaker.
It's hot today, but it's a happy day. Disney likes to say that Disneyland is the happiest place on earth, but I think today UCLA might be the happiest place on earth. Thank you, Professor and Chairwoman Levine, faculty, distinguished guests, proud parents, and most of all, graduates. I'm honored to be here today to deliver this commencement speech to this incredibly smart, extremely talented, and extraordinarily good-looking class of 2017. Graduates, I wholeheartedly congratulate you on your accomplishments. And now, I need to clear something up, because many of you at this moment are probably thinking, who the hell is this guy and why is he our speaker? I'll be honest, I kind of wondered that myself too. I'm not famous, I'm not a tech whiz kid, I'm certainly not a billionaire. I am CEO of one of the largest market research firms in the world, as you heard. I'm also founder of one of the first companies to find commercial applications for virtual reality. It's called Applied VR. Now, Applied VR is not a gaming company. It's a company whose mission is to use the special powers of fully immersive virtual reality, biofeedback, and artificial intelligence to help solve some of society's biggest problems. This work brought me to London to give a TED Talk, to the Obama White House to discuss how VR can help reduce racial bias in law enforcement, to meet with the Surgeon General to talk about how virtual reality could be used to help solve the opioid crisis, and to this stage here today. Yes, I am proud of my career success, but quite frankly, I'm even more proud of my 35-year marriage to my wife, Robin, and the lives that my 3 spectacular kids and their mates are building. I'm also proud of the depths of friendships that I have. In summary, I built a very full life. And that's likely the answer to the second question. Why am I your commencement speaker? Because why else would they have asked a guy with a pretty pronounced lisp, by God, the word has an S in it, to deliver a speech to you on what might well be one of the most significant days of your life? I stand here today before you as an ordinary guy with an anthropology degree from UCLA, an ordinary guy who found a way to build a full life using this, one of the greatest universities, as a launching point. It's your turn to launch, and so I hope today to offer you some thoughts that you can take with you so that you may have the impact that you desire on your family, in your work, in your communities, and hopefully in society and the world at large. Now, if I'm going to have a shot at imparting any wisdom and inspiring you, you need to first understand my story. The most charmed life is filled with not so charming, inelegant, gnarly challenges. I was born poor. My dad preferred to say we were broke. We moved around a lot. My parents fought a lot. I didn't feel very stable or secure, so I began working at age 13, first as a shoeshine boy, then as a paper boy, then selling newspapers door to door in apartment buildings in some, let's say, more interesting neighborhoods of Washington, D.C. and Silver Spring, Maryland. I always daydreamed that I was going to have a different life. Like many young kids, I had some heroes, including my dad. He was a research mathematician who later began working as an urban cultural anthropologist. I persuaded him to let me go out into the field with him one summer to study drug use in Reading, Pennsylvania. His work was fascinating to me, and I became quite curious about people, culture, society. This was the beginning of my interest in anthropology. My other heroes growing up included President Kennedy, his brother Bobby Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr., all of whom were trying to make our world a better, more equitable place. These were living, breathing examples of courage. They faced the world's challenges head on. They made me want to face the world's challenges head on. And at a very young age, they made me want my life to have impact. At the end of 11th grade, my dad got a grant to do research in Los Angeles. So my family would be moving midway through my senior year of high school. I had a choice. I could stay in Maryland and finish high school and probably attend the University of Maryland, or I could move to Los Angeles ahead of my family so that I could gain California residency and attend UCLA as an in-state student, the only way that I could afford to attend the school. Even back then, I was a hardcore UCLA fan. UCLA had just won 9 out of the previous 10 basketball championships. Go Bruins! I saw this as an opportunity, and scary as it was, I seized that opportunity. It was a tough time. I was broke and lonely. The new guy is a senior in high school, 3,000 miles away from my family and friends. While at UCLA, I needed to work full-time to put myself through school. I took a job with a small chain of drugstores and quickly talked the owners into letting me do their advertising. After I saw the results of my first attempt, I fell in love with business, with marketing, with advertising, and my career interests expanded. And after meeting the love of my life just a couple years later, I realized I had an opportunity to build a very different life than the one that I grew up with. I wanted to build a family and provide my kids with the same love that I got from my parents, but bolstered with much more stability. I started working for big companies, trying to move up the ladder as quickly as I could, but I hated the politics and bureaucracy of big companies. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I had a family to consider. I couldn't risk quitting my job to start a company. So at age 29, not much older than you all, I went to work at a small company, Lieberman Research West, as it was called at the time. I just went there as a senior guy, hoping to feel like my own boss, having my own company within a company. 5 years into working at LRW was 1991. It was a terrible recession, and the country was at war. One of the owners thought the company only had about 12 months left to survive and actually visited bankruptcy lawyers. He decided to retire rather than do the hard work that was needed to ensure the company's survival. In the upheaval, I once again saw opportunity, and again, I seized it. I asked his partner, Arnie, the company founder, to let me run the nearly bankrupt little local research company. He said, "Give me a plan." I scratched out my ideas on a yellow legal pad. I could see a future in which the company did more than survive. It could actually thrive. I laid out my vision of what the company could be, driven by a larger vision of what I wanted my life to be, giving my kids the stability and security that I craved as a kid. And Arnie simply said, "Go for it." It wasn't easy. We solved our immediate problems, and the company began to grow nicely, first into a more regional company, then a national company, and ultimately one of the 25 largest research companies in the world. It's now called Lieberman Research Worldwide. Along the way, we faced many challenges and obstacles, including embezzlement and accounting fraud. We lost big clients along the way. I got to tell you, it was grueling. I worked hard. We worked hard. Watching me work as hard as I did, young employees, not much younger than me at the time, would ask me about work-life balance. I'm sure something that's on your minds. I'd tell them that work-life balance is not 50-50 like so many people think. It's 100-100. Throw yourself 100% into each. And if you can actually make work an integral part of your life, it'll be so much better. While I was driven to build a small but great company, I was equally driven to be a great husband, father, son, and friend. I went to nearly all my wife's OB appointments for each of her 3 pregnancies. I was a coach of my kids' sports teams. I went to every parent-teacher conference, school play, and most importantly, I was there every time my wife or one of my kids needed me. We had to navigate serious health issues. We had to take care of our parents. However proud I am of my business accomplishments, I am much more proud of the husband, father, son, and friend that I've been. Recently, Arnie and I decided to sell the company, and I stayed on as CEO. Now, most people think selling a company is all about the money, and the money is important, don't get me wrong. But there was so much more for me, so much more. It was about proving to myself that I was financially responsible, something my family did not have a history of for many generations. It was about providing stability and security for my family, something I didn't have growing up. It was about a sense of extraordinary accomplishment. It was about doing something with a team of people that I cared deeply about. Selling the company was one of the most intense, exhausting, emotional experiences in my life because it wasn't really about selling the company. It answered the question, did I live the life and become the person that I wanted to be? When the deal closed and I was in my office behind closed doors, one of my very best friends called me and he told me that he was proud of me. I broke down in tears. I mean full-on bawling tears, the ugly Oprah tears. Because I knew he wasn't saying that he was proud that I'd just grown and sold a company. He was proud of the man I'd become over all those decades of growing up. So, life's a journey. The tunnel's long, sometimes it's dark. It's a roller coaster. It can be a blast, but there's tons of scary twists and turns. Between the cracks in the tunnel, the light finds a way. Let me offer a summary of some of the lessons that life has taught me. First, go for it. Put yourself 100% into everything you do. Life is not school where 90% gets you an A-. In life, 90% gets you a real mess. 2, human relationships. Deep interpersonal connections are what matter most. In the end, as you've heard, we're all social beings. We all crave connection. Care about people. Truly care. Love really does make the world go round. 3, see and seize opportunities. When people talk about having good luck, I think they're really talking about the ability to see and take advantage of opportunity. 4, do not focus on the skills that you don't have. That mindset will lead to failure. Instead, focus on the skills that you do have that you can ride to success. And while skill is important, if I have to pick, I'll take will over skill any day. 5, be tenacious. Bounce back. Never give up on your goals. Life plays defense. Don't give up at anything important to you because it's hard. I can guarantee you it's gonna be hard. Expect tough times, but remember, it's how you respond to the tough times that determines the life you will lead. It is how you respond to the tough times that determines the life you will lead. There will be failures. While I've had some entrepreneurial success, I've started other businesses and failed at them. 5 of them to be exact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Folded, flopped, bombed, blew it, blundered. But I persevered because the businesses weren't the goal. The life was the goal. You can persevere. 6, don't let embarrassment get in the way of achieving. It would be easy to not give speeches because I'm embarrassed about having a lisp. Instead, I accept it and the potential for what people might say, and I seize the opportunities available to me. If I didn't do that, it would limit my ability to have impact. There have been many times that I was nervous, lacked confidence, or was just plain old scared, but I waded in anyway. 7, don't be a victim. We all have our own challenges. We all have our own challenges. We can be buried in them, or we can fight our way out. I can tell you, life is so much sweeter when you take control of and responsibility for it. If you don't like something, do something about it. Control your own destiny. Lastly, be great. Be great at whatever you choose to do. There is no better feeling than the pursuit of something very hard to achieve that matters to you, going after it with everything that you've got, doing it with people who matter to you, struggling along the way, enduring the struggles, being clever and tenacious enough to fight through those struggles, and then achieving what you set out to accomplish. Dream big. Dream bigger. You can do it. As you can see, anthropology can take you anywhere that you want it to. Of course, it can take you to a great academic career. What a noble profession to teach people and do research. While I made the decision to pursue a business career, I still see myself as a cultural anthropologist, always trying to understand people and the cultures in which they live. So when I began to build a company, I recognized the power of culture and values to fuel the potential success of that company. To this day, I view one of my primary roles as the champion of our values and culture, knowing that the success of our business depends on our people, their values, and the culture in which we live day to day. If that's not anthropology, I don't know what is. Well, I have achieved financial security, and I know I've had impact on my family, friends, colleagues, and business partners. I remain full of energy and focused on my goal of having big impact on society. I am not done yet. I am not done yet. And that's the message that I'd like to impart in you all today. You are seated here today. We're celebrating your accomplishments, and I hope you feel good. I hope you feel great about who you are and what you've done. Congratulations on today. You've already shown that you can endure challenges and achieve. But don't stop here. This is the culmination of a chapter, not a book. Keep achieving, have impact, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being a part of your incredible day. Now go make a great life. Congratulations, class of 2017.